Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at the RunCam Racer Nano and the RunCam Nano2. They're going head to head. Of course, the biggest advantage is the Racer Nano has the ability to change settings via the pigtail, but you don't get that when you purchase it. You have to purchase that separately if you don't already have one. It's also ultra low latency. The form factor is the same. The Racer Nano weighs 4.45 grams. The Nano2 comes at 4 grams flat. I think the most prudent thing to do is to start with that head to head. So we've got the Racer Nano on the right and the Nano2 on the left. So we get to compare these side by side. I do try to fly the same path. I don't have a camera rig and I don't have the same DVR set up, so I had to just kind of fly the same path and then splice the video footage together. Sharp view is on the Racer Nano, so that's something to note, and we'll take a further look at that. They have changed the firmware quite a bit. I was mistaken in my last review of the Racer Nano, thinking that it was production, and it was not. So if you didn't see my pinned comment on that, this might be news to you. But you get to take a look at it, flying through shadows, looking out into the sunlight, and at the very end, I actually fly into the garage and then turn around, so you're kind of in a barn situation. And you're looking out. We also have the sky views with the blues and the saturation that you might like or you might not like. Kind of depends on which way you lean with your color palette. The same rig, same VTX, same DVR, so those things shouldn't be at play. Running my Fat Shark HDOs and the rapid fire module, so this is what we get. And we fly into the garage here near the end of our side-by-side footage, and you get to take a look at what it looks like going out into the sun. Flights were about 4 minutes apart. It really didn't take much to swap out the two different cameras. Here's a full screen view of the Racer Nano. You can see there it says RunCam. You have the added features where you can put a pilot name. You can have voltage, things of that nature that you find in more full-featured or full-sized cameras. And this is Sharp View. Sharp View is on in this one. You might be able to tell that. There is some flickering that you might be able to tell, some, I don't know if you'd call it artifacting or some sort of aberrations, but some people may like that, some people might not. It's up to you to determine that. I'm just here to show it to you. But I thought it was important not just to do the side-by-side, but also give you an idea of kind of a full screen layout of what the image looks like. The RunCam Racer is targeted at those that want the absolute minimum in latency. For those of you that might not be familiar, the latency has to do with the time that the camera takes in the image and then processes it. So we get to see it as quickly as possible. If you're burning up the track, then latency is probably going to be important to you. I don't generally feel latency, but again, that's another personal preference. Some people feel it, some people don't, but it is worth consideration that the RunCam Racer Nano is aimed at racers and being ultra low latency, as well as having all those settings where you can configure. It's also got a motion gesture where you can change your settings via your hand, and I showed that in my original video as well. And so if you're interested in looking at how that works, I would encourage you to go watch the original video. The footage should look different because they have made some changes in the settings and the firmware on how the sensor responds to everything, but as far as that functionality, it is the same. I just didn't refilm it. Okay, let's jump into the Sharp View off. Okay, let's jump into the section that I've got here where I go back and forth between Sharp View. It's fairly interesting because it gives you kind of that immediate visual inspection of what things look like with Sharp View on and off, and I just kind of go back and forth. I also cleared out the pilot name because I didn't care for that. We do have to look through the OSD as we're looking at the Sharp View being on or off and which one you like better. You also saw there you can turn the gestures off. I don't know why you would. I can't imagine that causing a problem in flight. But here we are with the Sharp View off, and you get another look at the RunCam Racer Nano. This flight, I'm going to let this run for about a minute here. You can skip ahead if you'd like to see more of this, but I think you've kind of seen it. We should jump next over to the Nano2, which is a fairly new release as well from RunCam, and for us micro enthusiasts might be something you're especially interested in, and we'll do that right after we let some of this Sharp View RunCam Racer Nano footage fly. Okay, now here we are at the Nano 2. RunCam's probably newest product. I don't know if the Racer Nano came out at the same time as the Racer 2. I'm just not certain about that. I have a feeling that the RunCam Nano 2 came out first, but I just can't say for certain. If that's important to you or not, I'm not the guy to answer that sort of question. But we go for the typical flight path. You know, we've had a lot of rain, so I'm flying out front. I think the front does a better job of giving us an idea of what the camera looks like. There's more colors to look at. It's a larger space. We have different light environments that I can hit in the front of the house rather than in the back. The back tends to be a more consistent lighting overall because I have so much canopy. So at one end of the yard, we have a little bit more light than we do at the other end of the yard. But I think that doing it in the front is a better camera test or visual representation. We have, you know, cars of different colors, houses of different colors. You get to see those things. How do the strings off the basketball hoop, you know, how clear are those to simulate ghost branches? Because we don't have too many ghost branches this time of year. We've got a lot of greenery finally. But boy, have we had a lot of storms. There was another tornado tonight in a town about 20 minutes away. Did a fair bit of damage, and one of the people that, one person that works in my department, his apartment complex was damaged, but him and his girlfriend were safe, so that's good. I'm happy that they're okay, and I have not heard any reports of any fatalities in that storm. So severe weather can be nasty in the Midwest flyover country here, and we've been getting our fair share of it over the last couple weeks. So that's pretty much a look at the RunCam Racer Nano and the Nano 2. What do you think? Leave your comment down below. Which one do you prefer? Like let's say it this way. Leave your comment down below. Which one do you prefer? Regardless of price. Let's say they're both the same price. They're both $25 just to shoot you a price. If they're both the same price, which one would you choose? And then secondly, we know the Racer Nano is $35, and we know that the Nano 2 is going to be substantially less than that. So with budget in mind, what do you pick? And if you have any other comments, questions, suggestions, or otherwise, please let me know in that section down below. I appreciate your time, and thank you for watching.